Hey, Alex here. So the Steelers lost yesterday in devastating fashion. They decided to change their game plan on containing Lamar. Instead, they went for Derrick Henry, and they got 300 yards run against them. And a terrible coaching performance because they were generally known as one of the teams that could contain Lamar and their offense. But look what happened. Contract extended when I simulated to the next week in Madden. So we know Mike Tomlin's coming back because Madden's not a trash game at all, and it's completely accurate 100%. There's a lot of talk out there whether they should or shouldn't bring Mike Tomlin. Maybe we'll talk about that during this video as I rebuild the Steelers here, go through the offseason, we'll look through the roster and everything, and overall, let me know what you guys think on that topic. I've said my piece on X, the Everything app, about, TJ's disappearing act and how he's now Defensive Player of the Year favorite because he didn't get any stats just like Lamar down the stretch last year. We talked about Tomlin coming back and how I think he's probably coming back. Like, what's better out there, Ben Johnson? But then, why would Ben Johnson want to go to the Steelers when all we have is Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, and then a mid to late round pick there? We'll talk about who we want to keep, who we want to have, who's coming back from injuries, and whatnot in this video as I plan forward the Steelers offseason. Let me know what you guys think the Steelers should do and where I got it right, where I got it wrong as we go. So overall, the roster, really the Madden rosters, I think Benton's better than 75 overall. Dante Jackson's much worse than 78 overall. Elliott played well for us this year. Wilson should be going, he should be a higher overall next year. Guy was fantastic, if not one of the best interceptions of the entire year was put on the field by him, not just by a linebacker, but by any position. That one on the wheel route, if you guys recall. Joey Porter actually getting a great cornerback that should take an overall upgrade going in next year. Minka did not play up to 93 overall this year for the Steelers whatsoever. I think a lot of people would agree with that. Pickens is a game changer. 83 feels right for his hot and cold level of play. Najee's not an 83 overall. Warren, I could see 80. Maybe I'd put it up a little bit higher. Wilson's not an 78. Fields 73 feels fine. Williams, we'll talk about whether we want him back. I think he's got more real life value than maybe Madden value. Freiermuth, Washington is way better than 75 overall. His run blocking and pass catching skill, he hopefully is utilized much better going forward. Frazier is playing like an all-pro as a rookie, and hopefully he's got a great future for it. McCormick stepped in valiantly in injury, and that's it. We got a couple guys coming back next year on the injured list, and I'll show them here, and I'll talk about who I want to look to re-sign this offseason with not Austin, but for James Daniels. He was the highest graded guard in the entire NFL by PFF before he tore his Achilles. Patanu, the first round draft pick, hopefully he's coming back next year healthy. Moved Broderick back to left tackle to his natural position. Hopefully he plays better. I think Cole Holcomb's probably done in the NFL. I know there's a lot of people wondering if he could make it back for the postseason. Logan Lee, 6th round pick. Roman Wilson, 3rd round pick. Who knows what's going on with him? I'm very sad that he didn't play it all this year. And that will kind of he's got a spot, but it won't affect our draft strategy too much. We're still going to take talent there at that position. So let's go ahead and advance week. We can look probably, if you guys want to look, I imported a draft class so we can look at some of the draft players up here on the board. We've got pick, I think it's 22, but it might change a little bit here. So obviously we need the quarterback most of all, but there really isn't a ton here unless we want to take, they say Jalen Milroe's a day 3 player. I'd be fine taking him just for the potential, but we need a quarterback guru, right? If I were in charge of the Steelers, I'd fire the defensive coordinator. That was pathetic what they did and the game plan they had out there, and they really faltered down the stretch. Now a lot of that can be blamed on the offense going 3 and out so often. So yeah, your defense will get tired when your offense can't put and string together drives to take up the clock at all. A lot of that, a lot of the best defenses of all times had great running games, right? The 85 Bears had, arguably the best running back of all time at Peyton. The Ravens had those great running backs. The Steelers had the great, Franco Harris. So not having that offense to grind it out has kind of been the detriment. So the Steelers are going to look to build through the trenches still. Maybe take a flyer on Milroe if he does go there, just to potentially sit him for a year or two to try and develop him. But let's talk about that when we get there. So let's go ahead and simulate, see who the game thinks is going to be the Super Bowl winner. Sim to off season. Let's just get it all the way. And this will allow us to see the Super Bowl winner, I think, pretty easily, right? I haven't really been in franchise mode much this year, as I played a little bit at the beginning of Madden and then kind of dipped out. But overall, we know for I don't know, people are arguing Tomlin's coming back, right? Is there a reason why we should spill more words upon Tomlin? View 2024 retirements. Who dipped out on us this year? For the Steelers, Cordell Patterson and Cameron Johnston. Fair enough. Cameron Johnston got a pretty bad injury there. He was doing really well for us for a little bit. So punter might be a problem unless we bring Waitman back. Season recap, Super Bowls. Who won it? The Ravens ended up winning it over the Lions. Lions is what they said, with Lamar Jackson as the MVP, Kevin O'Connell, Chase Hendrickson got Defensive Player of the Year, Jaden Daniels. But what's his pass rush win rate? Huh? Not that anything else matters than those couple words. Run defense, who cares? Nnamdi Madubuike gets the MVP in the Super Bowl. Wow. He must have run stuff like crazy. They give it to an interior defensive lineman. Madden be maddening. Has that ever happened before? Scout college players, upgrade players. Let's go ahead and what's the mock draft have us taking for the Steelers? Because I have ideas. They got a left end power rusher. I know we need interior defensive linemen, but I don't know if I'm going round one. There's some great talent there, don't get me wrong. Deion Walker going a little higher than people have him projected right now. Is that Ashton Genty as a replacement? I don't know. Ashton Genty to the Steelers in the first to get like an outstanding running back weapon. Is he actually going to last that long? That might be kind of crazy. Okay, so let's go ahead. This is staff week. All right, what staff moves do we want to do? How do I fire Taylor Austin? Who's all offensive line coach? You're gone. All right, head coach, coordinator. I don't think they get rid of Arthur Smith. They signed him a multi-year contract. But Craig Taylor, you're gone. I would say they run it back with these two. Defensive coordinator. Let's bring in. This doesn't matter. None of this is real life. Let's go. Let's do a full blitz. Let's bring back Blitzburg, man. Hire Jackson Pierce. Jackson Pierce. Is this like Antonio's cousin? I don't know. Next up, Scout College, press conference. All right, we fired, we canned, and we're going to get back to our blitzing ways, which we're known for, instead of just rushing forward, let TJ get chipped, getting no pressure on the quarterback because the offense can dictate the term to us. No! Pittsburgh dictates the terms to other teams! All right, advanced week, re-sign players. Who's our free agents? Priorities are Mike Williams, James Daniels. I don't know if Mason McCormick's ready to step up. I'd have to go and review some more film, but we'll see what he wants to get as far as a contract. Let's see, Najee Harris. All right, I'm not interested at all. 9.15 over 3 years. Are you drunk? We turned down your 5th-year option for $6 million. All right, you're out of town. Giat, you're bad. All right, hang on. Jalen Warren. $15 million total for Jalen Warren. You're gone. James Daniels. All right, negotiate. This is the guy I want. We got to build through the trenches. All right, let's give him player friendly. He's 27. Wait, what's super player friendly? 4 years, 5.7. Let's do 3 years, 5.7. Cap hits $10 million a year. That's 34. I don't even know. Well, I know IRL our cap's like 60 million. Let's give it to James Dan. I need this guy. No ifs, ands, or buts. You're getting offered. That's a good deal. You're brought back. We need that. Now we have a great center, a good left guard, and what seems to be a good right guard. I don't know, like IRL, what is injury and how he's coming back from it. We'll take a look at it. Okay, this guy wants 45 million total for Justin Fields. He wants 15 a year. I mean, NFL backup numbers is close to that. Like Gardner Minshew got like 12 million. Is it worth throwing 15 mil a year down on Justin Fields? Let me circle back to you. Now, IRL Justin Fields has got way more potential than 73 overall with normal dev. If this was Madden, this is absolutely not a re-sign. IRL. All right, Dan Moore, I'm letting you walk. Our last 2 first-round picks were both tackles. Thank you for your service. You were terrible. Landon Roberts. I love the way this guy stops the run. Now, in Madden, not a good Madden player because he's not fast, but he actually has a nose for the football. 2 years, $4 million a year. 1 year, he's 31. I'll sign him on a year-to-year deal. $4 million for 1 year. All right. Take it easy, Landon. We got 2 middle linebackers stepping up. I would like to re-sign a Landon IRL. But we got Peyton Wilson, and obviously we have Mr. Patrick Queen that's going to be around for a couple more years. CJ Henderson, no thank you. Russell Wilson. All right, this guy wants... Hang on. 1 year for $26 million. Okay, never mind. I misread that at first. I thought he wanted 15. Yeah, you're gone. 26 million? Yeah, good luck getting that. Whatever idiot franchise signs you for that. Cameron Sutton. I want to take you out. I can't say this online, what I want to do. James Pierre. Van Jefferson. Wave goodbye. Scott Miller. Wait, hang on. This is our special team ace. Ben Skoranek. This guy is 100% us. The problem is he's going to get the veteran minimum. Like, what? For 70 overall? I'll sign you in free agency for like 700K. Stop. Preston Smith literally wasn't dressed in the playoffs. He's not going to be re-signed. Isaiah Loudermilk. He's been okay at best. I'd say slightly below average interior defensive line production out of him. The draft pick didn't really work out that well. He wasn't very high. Jeremiah Moon, same thing. Nate Herbig. I actually really don't mind Nate Herbig Harvig as a swing offensive lineman. Would I sign him anything more than the minimum? No. $2 million for Nate. So in Madden, I'm not going to do it. IRL, I would probably offer him this contract. But 64 overall, I feel like I'm ruining myself in Madden with a $2 million contract. So, Sharping, I'm going to let everybody walk here. KZ, he was terrible too, but this is another guy we'll probably re-sign mid-season. Anderson, oh man, our swing tackle. We're losing a lot of foundational backup knowledge here because they're asking for too much money in Madden. Michael Pruitt probably gets re-signed by Arthur Smith. I'm not re-signing any of these names though. Oh. Waitman might be a grab. I'd have to look at what other punters are there in free agency. But I offered what to James Daniels? Was Mike Williams there? Oh, here he is. Mike Williams. Negotiate. $11 million. I'm very small. Okay, so he wants 5 a year, 76 overall. I'm okay with this. 5 a year for Mike Williams. Bring him back. Hopefully, you know, we traded, what, a 5th round draft pick for him? See if he wants it. Let's go. Salary 2.8. Make offer. All right, well, Mike Williams is gone too. So the guys that I've tried to negotiate with, I'm what, 1 for 3 on signing them. A Landon Roberts, Mike Williams, who I wanted back. I have to re-sign him in free agency. Jalen Warren, a 3-year contract for a running back at his age. He's been really explosive for us though. Let me think about this. $5 million a year when you can get a running back similar production for like a 5th of that in the draft. I would hope to only 4.8. Nah, I'm just gonna draft my running backs and take some free agent flyers. IRL, I don't know. Does Warren require $5 million? Somebody give me a number on that. I want him back next year. But that's it. Let's play on. Advance week. We got one guy back. We got a lot of roster to get through, chat. Or I guess YouTube comments. All right, see combine results, upgrade players, manage staff. I can't really trust the EA combine results for these real life prospects. We can go ahead and take a look at it. Who was the fastest? Who's the fastest man? Shadur Sanders ran a 0. Whoa. Isaiah Bond 4.24. Okay, that tracks. That makes a lot of sense. Evan Stewart. Is Evan Stewart going back? I can't remember which of the Oregon guys are going back. I'm getting my names blended. Luther Burden ran a 4.43. All right. Lacey is probably gonna be in jail instead of the NFL next year. Will Johnson, I like him, but he's like top 5, yeah. Omarion Hampton, Pierce, Quinshon Judkins, might be a decent run late. Whoa. Abdul Carter ran a 4.5. Okay, all right. Some of the big names running pretty well. Next up, sign free agents. Let's look now at my team. Let's take a look at my roster right here and where our holes are for the Steelers. Do we have our injured guys aren't back yet? So when that happens, Broderick Jones is switching over. We weren't able to get a right guard, so we might be rolling with McCormick. We need receiver badly, so we'll look to sign one. Quarterback, we got our kicker. We'll see what Fields ends up wanting there. Cole Holcomb is probably not going to stay with us. Patrick Queen, TJ Watt, Elliott's back. Love that. Minka, Porter, Hayward, Benton. All right, so basically what I'm looking at, wow, they gave Lariola 73. I like Lariola much better than that. Interior D-line, corner, so we can move Beanie to nickel. Trice is actually really good. He's better than 67 overall IRL. Hopefully when he takes steps. Obviously, Jamar Chase beat him pretty hard, but we have our movement. We have our guys we need to get. Sign free agents. The Steelers need to focus on a very few amount of positions. Who's really out here? Top 100. Tyron Smith, Trent Brown, Aaron Jones, Levante David. No real names are sticking out for us right here. Bakhtiari, Josh Sweat, Justin Simmons, Paulson, Jimmy Ward. I'm okay in the secondary. Bring Spillane back home. Douglas, Cooper, Warren, Hilton. Bringing Hilton back home. Hang on. What does Hilton want? Okay. I would not mind Hilton coming back home. Let's look out here for receivers. All right, Cooper, Deontay. Do you think he'd be good in Pittsburgh? All right, Mike Williams. What do these guys want as far as money? No players have the tag. He wants a quarterback. Let's bring home Deontay Johnson. Will this be awkward? This is probably gonna be too awkward. Let's not bring home Deontay. I think I'm going to bring home Juju Smith-Schuster. I want Mike Williams back, man. All right, let me offer this. Continued. Okay, we offered on Williams. I think we were also going to offer on Amari Cooper, 12 a year. I got 46 in cap. I do got to look at my cap. All right, offered on Cooper. We'll go ahead and see what he wants. As far as the quarterback situation, though, Russell Wilson does want to come home, but it's still $26 million. He deserves half that at most. Mac, Fields, Sam Darnold has no interest. We'll take a look. What does Darnold want? Darnold's looking for 40 to 50 million a year. All right, Fields, you the same way? He's about 15 million still. Bring Fields home. Yeah, let's do it. Make offer. All right. So we have 3 potential signings: quarterback, wide receiver. Let's take a look at interior defensive line. Davenport. No real. It might just be a position we draft. Oh, Poona Ford, no way. We definitely need a run stopper like Poona Ford. He's available. 12 per year though. We don't have that kind of money. You got 12 per year kind of money? I ain't got 12 per year kind of money. We do have 21 remaining, and I believe that's excluding the amount that we pay our rookies that we are gonna draft. Bring in Poona. And then corner. Yeah. I'm okay. We're drafting a corner. Although Paulson Adebo would be nice, I think I want big, long press. I think it's not like Paulson can't. Let's do that. Let's leave it as this. All right. How do we just got to go to the next week, don't we? We're in second place. We're behind Jacksonville as far as an offer. All right. We only get 5 active negotiations. Okay. It is what it is. We've offered them. Interior run stopper, Hilton, Cooper, Williams, Fields. Let's see what we can get. I keep saying chat, but YouTube comments. Good luck to us. Are they gonna take us? Can you like up your offer and stuff during the week? I know there's like tricks and stuff in franchise mode to get them more effectively, but like that feels like gaming the system. All right, who do we got? Unless I did it wrong. Pro day results, don't care. Did you guys sign? All right. Fields, Poona, Hilton, all signed. We are currently having trouble with the wide receivers. Williams. It does look like we lost Amari Cooper. All right, we are the only offer on the board for Mike Williams, so we're gonna leave him as it is. All right, available. Do we want to go down the board a little bit? Should we kick the tires on Keenan Allen? I don't think so. I really don't think so. We're drafting receiver. We got Mike Williams. Our quarterback situations, we're going to try out Justin Fields right now. It's like, I think I can go. Let me take a look at quarterbacks across the league. Like, this is more like a realistic rebuild. If I could, here's what I'd want to look for. I want to look for a quarterback. What team hates their quarterback? Caleb Williams for our draft. I don't think they're going to do that. Would we trade our entire draft for Caleb Williams? Probably, right? You know what? You know who I'm hearing? This would never happen, but the Chargers fans are really mad at Justin Herbert. So let's take a look at, can we trade our draft for Justin Herbert? Okay, let's see this. Submit this trade offer. Our draft for Justin Herbert. Darn. Who's on the trade block? NFL quarterbacks. We just have Malik Willis and Joe Milton. Joe Milton's not a bad backup situation. All right, what is Joe Milton? What does it go for? Team, they need a center, a quarterback, a right guard, wide receiver. We don't really have anything of depth there. Yeah, we don't have depth whatsoever across the board. Draft picks. We will trade a 5th round draft pick for quarterback Joe Milton. No way. 7th round draft pick. 2 7s for Joe Milton. Is this something you would take? That is not what they're willing to take. Joe Milton is not a Pittsburgh Steeler. Okay. We will add a 5th round. Didn't we trade away the 5th round in the Williams deal, or did we got one back? We already got Fields we're trying out, man. Fields and a rookie. Since we're doing a realistic one, we won't trade for a quarterback. That's a significant improvement because I doubt anybody that has a quarterback would want to trade for it. Advance to stage 3 next week. What else do we got? On signed free agents, let's take a look at what happened to us. My signings. We were still only able to get 3 of them. Hilton, Ford, Fields. Targeted. Mike Williams now has an offer from the Raiders. We will go ahead and up our salary to 3.5. Make offer. 2-year deal. We are now tied with the Raiders. Okay, we're good to go. Let me look for one more. Let me look for any more free agents. Is there anybody else I care for? Trent Brown, Ricard. Jimmy Ward is kind of interesting, I think. Being able to go like that. Right guard, Will Hernandez. Do we have faith in Mason McCormick? In Madden, we don't. In real life, I might just roll with Mason and hope he takes a step forward. Otherwise, dude, I since we're playing Madden, I kind of have to grab one of these guys, eh? Will Fries, 27, 78 overall. Man, I don't know if I it sucks because Madden's different than real life. And I think Mason McCormick's probably going to take a step forward with his athletic profile. Is it worth getting Will Fries? It almost might be worth getting like a backup guard, lower overall, like Dalton Reisner. He's not bad. Get Dalton Reisner as a backup guard. Make that offer. To give depth to my team, maybe give like a tackle depth too. Trent Brown's too expensive though. I don't mind Cornelius Lucas as depth here too. I'll look at tackles after the draft actually. Are there any other impact free agents? Let me look through the other positions. Punters available. Brian Anger. Ooh, he's not interested with us. 1.86 per year, 1.29 per year. Who would I get? Anger's older, more accurate. Right pick, or just go with full Madden. Kick power only. Recco. Yeah, let's just get the guy that's gonna sign with us. All right. 1 year, 1 million. Make it. Continued. Recco Ralph. Gilmore. I could use some depth here at CB. Shaq Griffin. I kind of want, give me Edward Jackson. All right, give me, how many years do you want? He only takes 1 year. Boom. Adore. We'll make an offer. Not the greatest. And then safety, 34 years old, 7 million a year. Quandre Diggs, 32. I'm gonna take Isaiah Simmons to play linebacker for us. 2 years. Yeah, Isaiah Simmons. Bring him in and actually utilize him in a blitzing role, like he should be utilized in the new Pittsburgh defense. All right, free agency recap. Let's see who we got. Let's see who decides to join the Steelers. Because we got a new defense, man. Hard hitting, blitzing. We got Hilton at CB, bringing him back. Adoree, Puna to stop the run. Isaiah Simmons as a nice looping blitzer. Fields is a quarterback, and then a punter. All right, we did not get a single wide receiver. I failed in that spot. Oh, no. We need a team that's going to give us a wide receiver. All right, none of these guys do I care about. The teams that I think would be willing to give away a receiver. They re-signed T. Higgins there in Cincinnati. They also signed Cooper. That's a weird amount of mouths to feed. That's some weird YouTube video. I think let's take a gander at the 49ers. Oh, they don't have Ayuk back signed. How much would it take for us to get Deebo Samuel? We'll give you a 4th for Deebo. Is this something you would like? They will not give us Deebo, even though they can't afford him for a 4th. They gotta afford Purdy. I feel like that's a real life trade, not a Madden trade, because he's like their best receiver, even though if you watched him, he's kind of lost a step. I don't know. Maybe that's a bad idea when there's going to be like a quality receiver there in the 4th for us in the draft anyways. We're headed to the draft. Now, obviously, I don't know this draft and how the ratings are done and how my view of the players are going to versus those. So we'll look at like overalls. Let's take a look at the players that we're looking to target here throughout the board, if we want to trade up for anyone or not. So quarterback, I'm really thinking it's if Milroe, man, they got him projected round 1. I can actually see this happening as we go into the draft, as people start looking at it as like arm talent, speed, like the Anthony Richardson type climb. Oh, Aller actually ended up going back to school. I would not mind a dart throw on dart though, later in the draft. We'll see what we get as far as quarterback there. Halfback, we need a halfback pretty bad, but I'm not Star Hunter. Oh, Jarquezian? Something like that. It's like with an apostrophe. Yeah, there's some really good names on the board at halfback. I got to take one of them. Wide receiver. If a Mecca's there, it might be a Mecca. But I like some big names down the board. The Trey Harris's. Betch is more of a possessional. Restrepo, same way. Maybe like Higgins has got a big body. I don't mind Higgins at all IRL. Tight end. These guys will probably be gone IRL. Loveland might be there. Warren's looking like, to the Colts. He's looking like the match made in heaven. I think I'm okay. I don't think I'm going to draft an offensive lineman. Maybe late if one falls to me that I like. Michael Williams. I don't really need line. I've got the line set. The defensive interior now that I got Puna. I am able to utilize that effectively. Move Benton to left end. Keep Cam Hayward there at right end. Outside linebackers are pretty well set there. Middle linebacker set. CB. This is a huge need. Wow. The guy I like... Wait, Trey Amos is all the way down here? This is a 1st round pick for a lot of graders right now have him high. Yikes. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Free safety, strong safety, Malachi Starks. All right, we'll see if I don't feel a need to trade up right now. Because the quarterbacks are going to be gone within the top 5, we don't have enough ammunition to get there. What would it take us to get to number 1 overall? What would it take us? Let's try it. Let's try to get the Titans pick. Round 1, pick 1, okay? Give you our 1, our 2, and our next year 1. 1, our 2, and our next year's 1. And we're going to go, like, this is like a bad idea, but it's like a bad quarterback draft, so maybe the Titans have faith in Will Levis. If they don't have faith in Will Levis, we might trade for Will Levis. We'll try this pick. 21, 53, and the next year's 1st for the number 1 overall. It might not be as far as enough value chart-wise. Number 1 overall is 3,000 points. So we'd be giving up, yeah, about 2,000 points here. So this is way undervalued. I don't think they're going to accept this. Yeah. All right. 1, 2, 1. Give them our... I need a receiver, so I'm going to keep 3, 4. We'll give you our 2 next year. And Justin Fields. No, not Justin Fields. And we have to throw in like a player. Let's see. Who's a good player that I'd be fine offloading? I'm actually okay offloading Patrick Queen. Take Patrick. We got Peyton. Do they need linebacker, though? Let's see if they want Patrick Queen. Not enough value. Patrick Queen's not enough. 1, 2, 1, Patrick Queen and Calvin Austin. See anything to them? 1, 2, 1, 2. This is an awful idea. 1, 2, 1, 2, Patrick Queen, Calvin Austin, just for Cam Ward. If Cam Ward's not a hit, we've crippled our team for years. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna trade for Will Levis. The Titans don't even need that. Okay, sure. Will Levis, give the draft pick of the 7th, I don't know, 5th round pick for Will Levis. Little more. 5th and 7. 5th and 2 7s. Okay. A 5th and 3 7s. All right. So we now have Will Levis. We got a powerful arm. And that's a terrible trade. That's a terrible trade, Fox. But, like, we got nothing, man. We got developmental quarterbacks at the best, okay? Start the NFL draft. We didn't have to give up much, luckily. Skip ahead in the draft to next user pick. So it went from Ward to Hunter, Carter, Scorton, Banks, Pierce. Shadur Sanders went 7. Mason Graham, Michael, Will Johnson, Luther Burden, Tet McMillan, Walton Owen, Morrison, Loveland, Walker, Campbell, Ursery, Grant, Burke. Now we're up. What are the offers for my picks? Well, let's look who's all there available. Make your selection. Who's here? Ashton Genty would be insane. Jalen Milroe. I don't feel like Milroe is... I kind of want to see more of him, but like he is so inconsistent. I don't know if I trust our development right now. Malachi Starks. It might have to be Emeka Egbuka. It might have to be Emeka Egbuka right here. As far as our pick, I personally really enjoy Savon Ravel. He's not on this, though. They have Takario Davis. Like, guys that are higher in the draft that would go close to this, like I said, it would be Savon Ravel and then, like, Trey Amos would be some names that I would potentially think of here. But I really think, now this, you might be like, well, you got Roman Wilson still, but I think Emeka Egbuka is somebody that we should add to the roster at the wide receiver position since it's so bad. And since I don't see Savon Ravel on the board. The other choices, obviously, like we talked about, interior D-line would be depth for like future years for when Cam goes away, which we desperately need. Left outside linebacker, CB, free safety. Let's go. Quarterback. It's between, like, Milroe would be our option because he's a great Madden quarterback. But let's take the wide receiver, Emeka Egbuka, right here. I'm not even gonna look at trade offers. We're doing it. He was ranked number 10 in true value, drafted him at number 21. Elite top end, speed, soft hands. Cool. All right, next up. I guess I can just skip ahead in the draft. The Steelers haven't really traded in recent years as far as during the draft. So we're going to see who falls to us. We've seen some running backs being taken. Starks got taken. Kyron Lacey was taken way too high for IRL. Ashton Genty actually fell to 41 to the Bears. I think I would have traded up for Ashton Genty if he was at 41. Who are we doing? Who are we looking at? Quarterback, Drew Aller. Sent him. Was Dart taken? Dart's already gone in the 2nd round. Son of a gun. Man, not great for us. That was going to be a pick for us, down the board at least. I don't mind taking a running back. I feel like it might be a little early still in the board for what we need. Let's look to the position. Man, having an outdated board is a little tough. Let's go ahead, and this is going to be a bad pick. It's going to be a bad pick, but we desperately need CB. All right, so it's going to be Trey Amos, drafting him in the 2nd round. Yeah, they gave us C, but it is what it is. Right, we don't believe him. I wonder if I just want to switch this spot, skip ahead in the draft to next user pick. We should just switch on over to PFF mock draft simulator. Nah, let's figure it out. All right. Make your selection. Who's available in the 3rd round for the Steelers? Woody Washington, Gordon. All right, we might go with a halfback here. Not a bad spot to be. Taj Brooks, I'm a big fan of. Okay, if Xavier Watts is here in the 3rd round, we're taking Xavier Watts. That's the problem. Xavier Watts is probably like a 2nd round draft pick. But I think Xavier Watts is the move. Young, Let's just draft him. We'll say he fell for one reason or another IRL. They gave me a C- in this thing, but Xavier Watts, we take that. Wait, resume draft. What's going on here? Okay. It got weird in the background. Skip ahead. Next user pick. This is about time we take a halfback. I think I don't mind taking Taj Brooks right here. Take him in the 4th. We do need help at running back desperately now. Top fits. Yeah. Let's go ahead. Draft Taj. They gave me a C pick. A C at halfback, even though he's going to be my lead back now that I lost both my running backs in free agency. And that is the finish of round 4. We do not have a round 5 pick. Round 6, we traded for Justin Fields. Round 7, we have a couple right here. Who's on up for us? Oh, it's Cam Scatabo, bro. Whoa, we got Cam Scatabo in the 7th. All right, this is more of a joke pick. Scatabo is this draft class was done a long time ago. I thought it said it was updated like a week ago. We got one left. No, we traded it in the Levis deal. All right, draft recap. Who did we get? We were able to select Ibuka, Trey Amos, Xavier Watt, Taj Brooks, and Cam Scatabo. If the IRL Steelers get this draft class, we are Super Bowl bound. This is absurd what we were just able to put together, and I can't understate how absurd some of these selections are. But give it to me. Give me a Emeka Egbuka in the 1st round. Thank you. Absolute spicy meatball of a pick. So the Steelers go ahead and move on to preseason, because I still think we need some signings here in the preseason. We'll take a look at our roster. We'll take a look at what's ahead of us. We got a lot of issues still present themselves to the team. Okay, Broderick Jones going back to his natural position of left tackle. He came out the draft and he's been basically playing left-handed his entire professional career because of Dan Moore. Dan Moore, insane to me that Dan Moore pushed him over, because Dan Moore couldn't play right tackle. It's like, stop, man. You just screwed up the development of a young player for Dan Moore. Very frustrating experience as a Steelers fan watching Mike Tomlin make these decisions for players that he likes. But all right, we now have what? Wait, that's the wrong position. All right. Let's just go to our depth chart. Okay, so Broderick Jones, left tackle, Broderick Jones. Now, to be fair, Troy Fatanu came out as a left tackle also, but he's been making the switch because he apparently can. I don't know. Don't ask me what's going on in Pittsburgh, but he's more athletic. He's a little bit of a shorter guy. He's like 6'3 3/4, long arms though. So that's why he's there. All right, what else we have? Adjust lineup. How are we looking? So here's where the roster ended up after all that maneuvering, and thinking back on it, the quarterback position I kind of screwed up, right? I really thought Jackson or Jalen Milroe might be there in my 2nd round pick, but we got Will Levis, Justin Fields. We got potential there. Scatabo and Taj Brooks. I think it was a mistake not to even pay, I feel like an overpay for a running back there. At least in Madden would have a high overall, because like this team looks and is way worse in Madden than it would be IRL. With like Broderick Jones, for example, stepping back to left tackle would hopefully play better than that. Now remember, Mason McCormick is going to be a backup. James Daniels is still on IR for a couple weeks in this game, so he's going to be like a flex player there, as there's offensive line injuries almost every year for every team except for like maybe 1 or 2 a season. At wide receiver, we have a potential future superstar in Egbuka, and then Pickens, hopefully he can keep it together a little bit, stay more consistent, the down the field insane threat. I think it was a mistake. Roman Wilson or Austin right here are going to be my slots. Hopefully Austin will take another step forward, because he's been getting better slightly. He obviously missed his rookie year, 2nd year, whatever. Past year, he caught a little bit more. He's an explosive player. So hopefully wide receiver core stands up. But yeah, Mike Williams not taking my offer. And wide receivers kind of juking me because I got Justin Fields and Will Levis as my quarterback. I guess makes a little bit of sense. So we had to go to the draft. So maybe even drafting 2 wide receivers, thinking back on it, would have been a better, just to get, take a scatter shot at the position. If Wilson, who I actually really like Roman Wilson here. Did I call him Russell? Roman Wilson here out of Michigan, very fast, really good at blocking. I guess we got a couple, rivals here, Egbuka and Wilson at wide receiver. Seems like he'd be a good player still, even after losing his whole 1st year due to a variety of injuries. On defense, we got our nose. So that means Keanu Benton goes to his more natural position, which would make him a higher overall than 74. I think he's 75 at nose, but he's much better than the game gives him credit for. Joey Porter, Mike Hilton, who's actually our nickel corner in this scheme. Adoree Jackson, but like maybe Adoree was not not a great pick if we were gonna, obviously Amos falling to us late in the draft was because of the draft class, and then we have Corey Trice too, and I would much prefer going Corey Trice, so maybe Adoree Jackson 76 is actually Corey Trice, even though I spent money on him. Minka, Xavier Watts, wow, they really did him dirty on this profile pick. What's in the water at Notre Dame? Highsmith, Peyton Wilson, who's been phenomenal, like we've talked about, TJ Watt, Patrick Queen. The defense is looking studly, right? Unless like a rash of injury takes over and takes out a bunch of starters. This is another deadly D, which makes sense because so much money is spent on it. Watt, Minka. I would say maybe we should extend Watt this year. I have a lot of cap space left, and I kind of want to talk about the quarterback situation here most of all, because that is by far the biggest weakness of this. And like after going through this, I'm like, wow, I feel like the Raiders last year was left without a dance partner getting a quarterback. That definitely happened to me in this simulation going through it, because like the issue is, all right, let's just take a look at the quarterbacks out there, right? I tried to make a swing for Herbert, who I know people were like, or you know, some LAC fans were like, trade him, get rid of him. He threw 50 million picks in our divisional game. He's gone. Like this would, like a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. I would have loved to make a trade for him, but that's realistically not going to happen. Harbaugh loves this guy more than you love your wife. It's insane. Obviously, we're not going to get the top 4. And then at this point, Purdy, Love, I mean, Purdy, he's going to get signed, which is weird because we weren't able to get Debo off the Niners. So you'd think they would be like, yo, sign him, let go of Debo in order to free up cap, since we have so much depth to our receiving core. We even got Cowing in the wings waiting behind like Pearsall, Brandon Ayuk coming back. Well, I don't know when Brandon Ayuk's going to come back. But like when you get these basically are all untradables. You're not getting any of these quarterbacks that I'm currently flashing past. Dak Prescott ain't going there. Darnold was a potential opportunity, but he had zero interest in signing with us. So he took a large contact to go play for the Raiders. Bo Nix ain't getting Trenton Murray, Caleb. These guys like 78 overall is what we're looking at. And then like if we look at Russell Wilson, 76 is not a big step down from like the guys that like our potential gets. But then even from like Russell Wilson, like you even have other young quarterbacks. I guess Lawrence is still 25. And then I got Fields, right? And that's who I decided to go with. Cam Ward, I guess I could have drafted him. I tried to trade up to 1. Instead I went and traded for their backup Will Levis, since they decided to sign Russell Wilson in free agency there in Tennessee. So it's tough because the players were taken earlier than I thought in the draft, and there really isn't anything for me to acquire realistically. Obviously, in a video game, I could literally go out and acquire every single one of these players without a doubt, with the exception of maybe like the top guys. That's the conundrum. Realistically, Trevor Lawrence is not on the block. In this game, I could have Trevor Lawrence starting for me if I wanted. Yeah, it's really a tough one. Left without a seat in a game of duck, duck, goose. And the kids laugh at you, and you just got to go eat lunch in the bathroom for the rest of your school life. Man, it's a tough offseason. I really don't know what the Steelers are going to do. I guess because I have a lot of cap left, right? This is a very healthy franchise going forward. If we go ahead and take a look at just team salaries, we extend Watt probably, since he's 30. He's probably playing for a few years. Cam Hayward's playing the best ball of his life, but I feel like this might be his last year this next year. He's getting up there in age, but like I said, dude was like the best interior defender in the NFL or right there this whole year. He's phenomenal. He's insane. I'll have what he's having. But then like if you see the cap space, I got 40 million in cap, and you'd be like, well, you should have signed Russell. I'm like, we saw what Russell can do. Is Russell a Super Bowl winning quarterback? I feel like the answer is no. The issue is our offensive scheme and our defensive scheme were really bad. And so like the players themselves are not the problem with Pittsburgh. It's how they're executing on the field that the major issues show themselves. Like we saw 2 tackles pull into each other at the divisional game. Okay, like we saw defense, like 3 guys go to 1 player, and then like all of a sudden Derrick Henry's wide open there in the middle of the field to tear us apart. So while we look at this team and you're gonna be like, whoa, Fox, you really messed up, man. This quarterback room is a disaster. I'm like, I agree. I got nothing else to say to you. It was a failure on the offensive scheme and management to, help develop Pickett at all, even though he doesn't look like a starting NFL quarterback, so it was probably good to move off of him before you got too like pot committed. This year's draft class has some solid players, but they're not like last year's. It feels like last year there was a lot more talent to be had in free agency as far as quarterback. And then going with Will Levis feels like a Sam Darnold type of player, right? Big arm, absolutely destroyed by pressure in his first years. Moving on, hopefully, to a team that can utilize talent, run some more over routes, throw some deep balls to Pickens, have a scheme that makes it easy on the quarterbacks to get completions. And then hopefully your first round picks, Fatanu and Broderick Jones, can actually play tackle. Like I said, James Daniels coming back. You have a good interior. Muth and Washington are phenomenal tight ends. Muth more receiving, Washington, yeah, everything. Just a big, like, he's like a tackle that can run. 315 pounds of absolute muscle at 6'7". And then a defense that should definitely be able to get stops with guys that I've drafted, Xavier Watts, Trey Amos, that can absolutely develop into superstars. So, yeah, I don't know. The problem is, if I sim this, I'm going to win like 3 games because of how lowly rated some of these, draft picks were. I could just advance week until sim to the playoffs. We could see how this goes out. Let's go ahead and sim ahead and see how it ends up. But yeah, overall, like, it's a bad year to need quarterback, even though the Steelers did this to themselves, right? One bad pick in 2018, am I right? Just one Lamar Jackson away from being a Super Bowl contender. Because, yeah, it feels bad, and I know everybody's saying it, like, wasting TJ Watt overall, and, like, the thing is with TJ Watt is, like, he's getting chipped every play. Like, it was like, oh, he did nothing against Rosengard. Like, he was chipped every play except for 2, and on one of those 2, he got an insta win, and got to the quarterback or whatever. So, they don't even run to his side anymore. The defensive strategy was crazy bad, like, having him crash on the running back instead of playing more as an athletic role. Like, I don't understand on these options. Why don't you just don't hit Lamar Jackson every time, right? Go up to Lamar as he's faking the handoff and just hit him. Make him, like, not be able to run the option. I don't know, like, seems like a strange thing not to treat the runner as a runner when he's trying to deceive you. Instead, they just keep hitting Derrick Henry, right? That's what they did every time. They hit Derrick Henry. It made no sense to me. I was so that's why we fired the offensive line coach, fired the defensive coordinator, and we've got a whole new thing going on. View playoff bracket. I ended up 5-12. Yeah, we did not do so well. But it makes sense. Like I said, the team that I put together, the talent that they have is better than what it showed. I will say 5-12 is exactly what people want to do. Bengals went 13-4. Colts 13. Wow, they love Anthony Richardson. Ravens. So 5 wins actually gets us a top 5 draft pick, potentially top 4. So now we're within range of Arch Manning. We were 1 loss away from now sealing our quarterback of the future. Wait, who's 32? Rams? Oh, Rams were 2-15. So we'd have at best, yeah, we'd have pick 5 or so. So depending on what you like out of next year's class, Drew Aller to take him at 5 overall for the Steelers. There it is. We successfully tanked. Lost to your TJ Watt, lost to your Cam Hayward, but we got ourselves a quarterback, Arch, who actually might stay till 27. And well, there we have it. Are you happy, fans? Are you happy for the tank?